Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be installing the Camco vent covers. We have two on this small rig, so we're going to be doing both of those. Now, the reason why we chose to go with this is for two reasons. Number one, we went with the white so we can try to keep a little bit more light. And the reason why we went with the vent cover is so we can keep the vents open when it's raining. And also, if we forget to shut them while we're driving, then we don't have to worry. Overall, I think it's going to be a nice little upgrade, something quick, but I know that a lot of people don't like to tackle projects without knowing exactly what they're getting themselves into. So let's get started. Alright, so the tools that we're going to need are a drill with a 3/16 inch bit, all the hardware that comes glued in the inside of this. The brackets also come with it. You're going to need a pencil to mark where your locations are, and then I believe that's it, but if not, I'll let you know. Now, when you're placing these, you want to make sure that the curved edge is facing the front of the rig, because obviously you want it to be aerodynamic. So what we're first going to do is place it on top. Try to get a nice location for this. Took this off so we can get a little bit better view inside, make sure that it's lined up where we want it. Then we're gonna use the pencil to make markings of the holes that are currently in there, so when we go ahead and put the brackets, we know exactly where we want them. The next thing that you want to do is take these brackets here. The short end is going to go right up to here. You want to try to get it as close to the corner as possible. And then you also want to bring it up to the top edge of the window. So it is going to be slightly off of the roof, which is what you want, so you can get a little bit more airflow in the bottom of that. Water doesn't stay stuck inside and you don't have it pull up. Also, I forgot to mention that when you are lining these up, you want to make sure that it's at the top, but you also want to look at the markings that you did towards the bottom and make sure that wherever you put this lines up exactly where you want it on here. Alright, so now that we have the areas marked where we want to drill a hole, we start putting holes in this thing. I feel like that's all I've been doing lately, is putting more holes. Alright, so now that we have the holes drilled in, we can take one of the carriage bolts, which is the one that has a little square piece right there at the bottom. The square piece actually is what holds it from turning. So you put it in like that, then you take one of your number 8 Phillip head screws, you put it through that hole, and we're going to take one of the washers, locking washers and nuts, and pop it in there. I couldn't find my crescent wrench, so I'm sure a pair of pliers will do just fine. Now make sure that you put the carriage bolt in here, because you're definitely not going to be able to put it in there afterwards. Then once you do one, you just repeat the steps for all the other ones. Alright, next up, we're going to close the vent, put the cover on it, and start locking it down. Now when you're doing this, there's two things that you want to focus on. Number one is that the carriage bolt, the square piece of it, is pushed up all the way. You have to put something in underneath to hold it there. And number two, make sure that you don't over tighten these. You're tightening on plastic, so you definitely don't want to tighten that down too much. Just nice and taut so it doesn't fly on you. Alright, and as usual, repeat the steps for the next one. Alright, so now that we have those nicely secured, it actually feels pretty good. I don't have any concerns that these will fly off at all. So the next step is to make sure that we put the louvers back on, or the little screens, and we'll be all set. The cool thing about this is that you can access these. All you need to get is a screwdriver and unscrew this real quick. You can wash these filters out, and if you need to get in there for any reason, you can take it off easily. Other than that, it should be pretty much maintenance free. Let's go ahead and do the other one in the front. Alright, so we got both vent covers done. The second one was much easier than the first one because I had all the tools all prepped, ready to go. So it was really only 10-minute project for the second one. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you like our content, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you during the next project.